Here we are going to be talking about some fun things happening in Turlock. It looks like the fine particulate matter today is back down to safe levels for the first time in quite a while. Weather-wise, we still are in summer, it seems like. In this coming week, we are looking at mid to high 80s, and the next week just barely touching the 90s, but still remaining in the 80s. We still have some COVID cases, but we are talking today about some things happening in local Turlock. This is the local Turlock podcast for the week of October 9th. Give me a moment to get myself situated. Local Turlock podcast, October 9th. Another quick and exciting episode as I give you some of the interesting and latest scoops, news, and stories for the week. Let's begin with our first story. As cases of COVID-19 are continuing a downward trend, Ceres School may reopen next month. And here's some more good news. You can once again wait for an Amtrak train inside of the Modesto station as they have reopened station interiors in Modesto and 3 other cities as of October 5th. Moving on, as a result of smoke from wildfires in California, air quality impacts sports schedules of Bulldogs and Hawks as athletic directors for sports teams from Central Valley and Ceres High canceled conditioning workouts for their respective teams. For the first time ever, all registered voters in Stanislaus County will receive their ballot in the mail for the upcoming election on November 3rd. And here's an inspiring news we need to hear. Good Samaritan Bogetti family has set up a pumpkin stand along Highway 132 where all of the proceeds will go to first responders. Also sharing the latest updates about COVID-19 in Stanislaus County. All that and more today in this week's Local Turlock podcast. Ceres schools may reopen next month. Ceres Unified School District has a plan in place to reopen its elementary campuses for in-person learning. Teachers, staff, and families were notified last Friday by Superintendent Scott Siegel. To allow for social distancing, a hybrid schedule will be used to minimize the number of students on campus at a time, beginning when elementary schools reopen. Summer vacation ended for CUSD students on August 12th as the 2020 through 2021 school year opened with remote learning due to state-imposed coronavirus restrictions. All public schools in Stanislaus County were closed from March 19th through the 2019 through 20 spring academic year to help minimize the spread of COVID-19. Now next up, you can once again wait for an Amtrak train inside of a Modesto station. While that loads, we'll look back at the text here. Enhanced cleaning, more space for physical distancing, travel flexibility, and a contact-free travel experience are Amtrak's new standard of travel during the coronavirus pandemic, says Amtrak Medical Director Dr. Ann Kuhn. And I guess I need to try and load the Modesto Bee article in a different way. Amtrak is reopening station interiors in Modesto and 3 other cities as of Monday, October 5th. Passengers will again be able to check baggage and purchase tickets at the 4 stations, but cash will not be accepted out of concern for coronavirus transmission. Online reservations are urged, face coverings and social distancing are required in the stations and on the platforms. The reopened stations will have these hours 7 days a week. Modesto, 7:30 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. Merced, 10:15 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Fresno, 5:45 a.m. to 6:15 p.m. and Hanford, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. The other 14 stations on the route have remained open. They include the Turlock Denair station because they have a platform but no inside building. Next, air quality impacts include sports schedule for Bulldogs and Hawks. Central Valley and Ceres High canceled conditioning workouts last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday because of poor air quality. Athletic directors Greg Magny and John Boussard made the joint decision to cancel conditioning workouts for sports teams from Central Valley and Ceres High, respectively, last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, due to poor air quality as a result of smoke from wildfires in California. None of Central Valley's sports teams practice on Fridays at this point of the school year. Extracurricular activities, including sports, had been suspended until further notice on July 13th due to a spike in COVID-19 cases in Stanislaus County. County provides alternatives to mailing in ballots. A number of satellite offices, drop-off boxes, and drive-through options are popping up in Turlock throughout the course of October and into November to ensure every ballot is counted come Election Day. For the first time ever, all registered voters in Stanislaus County will receive their ballot in the mail for the upcoming election on November 3rd, following legislation signed in June by Governor Gavin Newsom. While every registered voter in Stanislaus County will receive a postage-paid ballot in their mailboxes this year, they do not have to turn it in by using the postal system. There will be one voting center for every 10,000 voters where those who don't want to send in their ballots can drop them off. Voters can also receive device or language assistance at these locations or replace a missed ballot. Satellite office locations in Turlock include the Assyrian American Civic Club, Stanislaus County Fairgrounds, 10 Pin Fun Center, and Turlock CSA Epic Center, and will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. beginning October 31st through November 2nd, and from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 3rd. The county has also worked with a variety of locations to allow for indoor, outdoor, and curbside drop boxes where ballots can also be placed. It will be located at Turlock City Hall, Turlock CSA South County Service Center, Save Mart, and Food Max. Curbside ballot drop-off locations in Turlock are located at Stanislaus State and the Turlock Silvercrest Senior Residence. Indoor ballot drop-box locations are open beginning October 5th. Curbside ballot drop-off locations will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on November 2nd and from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 3rd. For more information on satellite office and drop-box locations, visit stanvote.com. Here we go, stanvote.com. We get all your voting information. To track your ballot once it has been mailed or dropped off, visit california.ballottracks.net/voter. So we go, if they let me get to the website, california.ballottracks.com, fill in your information, and you can see the progress of your ballot as it's coming back. Now, next up, want to get Halloween pumpkins and help out first responders? Well, here comes our next story, which Modesto B won't let us pull up, so we'll just read it off the page. The Boghetti family has set up a pumpkin stand along Highway 132, where all of the proceeds will go to first responders. And let's see if we can find a picture of it to toss up on the screen. There's Modesto B again, but they won't let it. There we go. Okay, so there's the picture for it. So the Boghetti family has set up a pumpkin stand along Highway 132. If I can find my... Here we go. Where all of the proceeds will go to first responders. Dad, James Boghetti, is the manager at Mapes Ranch, and he and his wife Corin do some farming of their own, but this is the first year they've grown pumpkins. It all started out as a little college fund for their son, George, but with all the good work of our first responders, they felt that it was their good Samaritan work to help out those that keep us all safe, especially in this day and age. If we can pull, there we go, perfect. All right, that's what we wanted to show some video of this happening, right? The family set up the stand on a friend's property next to the Twin River Saloon on Highway 132 and Hart Road. It is open 24/7 on a merit-based system with envelopes supplied to drop cash directly into the stand. They put up the stand on October 1st and have already generated $1,000. Mostly from friends and family in the area, but they hope to earn much more before Halloween. In addition to the Sheriff's Department, Boghetti said funds will go to the Woodland Avenue Fire Department and healthcare workers. So there's some cool local stuff. Next, let's get into the big, scary, and dreary, and negative coronavirus news. Give me a moment to get situated. we can get this on the screen. Stanislaus County added 37 cases of the virus Wednesday, a day after its best performance on this measure since early June. The County Health Services Agency also announced 2 more deaths to COVID-19, bringing the total to 379. As we have all these numbers here on this reporting from MSN, where we see Turlock at 6,200, or Modesto at 6,200, Turlock 2,200, Ceres 2,000. Seems to be about the same, or more or less, how it was last week. Stanislaus County now has 16,804 positive tests, 91,605 negative tests, and 16,000 people who are presumed recovered. Wednesday's positive rate of 6.83%, followed by 1.73% on Tuesday, the lowest since the 1.21% on June 1st. Hey, pretty good news, right? The lowest we've had since June 1st. The county's 5 hospitals had 38 confirmed COVID-19 cases Wednesday, up from 35 on Tuesday. And though Latinos make up 47% of the population, they represented 64% of positive cases. And then here are those numbers we had a moment ago: 6,255 cases in Modesto, 2,200 in Turlock, 2,000 in Ceres, and Stanislaus County has finally met both criteria for leading the most restrictive tier of the California coronavirus reopening program. Hey, good job, right? They close it all down, they see if we can get our numbers down, and then they slowly open things back up. Now, thank you very much, you out there, for tuning in and watching or listening to our local Turlock podcast. You can find us at localturlock.com and find out about all kinds of cool things that are happening. So don't forget to visit our website, localturlock.com, to stay up to date on our local news. You can email me if you want to pass along a message, want me to say something on this weekly podcast. That is turlock@localturlock.com. If you know of a local business, restaurant, farm, anything like that, some fun event nearby that needs some attention, we can give it a shout out. And you can visit us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/localturlock and leave us some comments. We post news on here, but sometimes we kind of get off topic and talk about some fun stuff. Heidi says, can you post the drop-off locations to the website? Yes, and just for Heidi live right now, we will also, let's see, we'll reply, well, if it lets us reply. Okay, we'll just say yes, and we'll give you that link right there live, Heidi, so that way you can track your ballot. I have been meaning to post the notes here, the transcripts on the website and on the local page, but on the local Turlock Facebook page, did you know, like, with all the stuff with all the like political debates and all that, did you know that Josh Harder and Ted Howes had their own local debate? I mean, isn't the local stuff more interesting than what's going on in the whole country? Maybe. The annual Turlock Downtown Christmas Parade is canceled, so you're welcome to kind of vent or tell us how angry that makes you. You would not be alone. And we just have lots of fun things. People talk about their favorite movies that no one has heard of. People talk about their favorite stove burners. That is facebook.com/local Turlock, and that is localturlock.com, where we are posting just all kinds of things that we did not happen to get to. But stay tuned for next week's exciting episode. Have a great weekend, and as always, stay safe. We'll see you out there around town in local Turlock and on that Facebook page. Thank you, and bye now.